All right, guys, welcome to the first title of Indie Showcase powered by The Shed, the first weekday Indie Showcase, and I have been itching to show this one to you guys. The theme of this show is definitely going to be a lot of shooty stuff. So I played this back at PAX South at the Arcade Cruise booth, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I've already played a bunch of it. I couldn't wait before I did this, but I had to show this to you guys because, yo, dog, you like Contra? You want a modern-day Contra that's not made by Konami? This is what this is. Oh my, yes indeed. This is Blazing Chrome, developed by Joy Masher and published by the Arcade Crew, which is actually a division of .mu, and Wallpaper Engine crashed. Lols. Whatever. Yeah, the Arcade Crew is actually a division of .mu that was created specifically to publish unique, modern retro titles. And it's a fantastic thing. I'm so glad there's actually a business for this now, and this is their first title. So it came out a few days ago. It's $17 US if you buy it from Steam, but it is actually on Xbox Game Pass, both for the Xbox One and for the PC. So you can actually get it through that. Xbox Game Pass continues to be one of the world's most stupid, insane values. I adore it, but you can buy this independently as well. And this game, it's modern Contra, and I mean that in every possible way. It plays similarly, and it is also balls hard. It is ridiculous. So we're gonna be. I have been dying to show this off though because I have been having a great friggin' time with it. So give me a sec here. I'm just gonna pop this up and off we go. Hang on a minute. I full screened the wrong source. One moment, please. That full screened the entire thing, not just the game stuff. So I need to full screen projector that over. Yeah, there we go. So, all right, here we go. I'm just going to turn this up a little bit. So I'll actually show you guys, you know what I'll do? I'm actually going to close this so that I can restart it and show you guys the intro for it. Yeah, this thing is Contra-ass Contra. It does have two-player local co-op. I've only played it single player because yes, it is local only, but it is really good. But you gotta like games that require a lot of memorizing and that have a lot of challenge for sure. So this is actually on the Xbox only because this is where I started playing it and this is where my progress is saved. But I have played the PC version, which is perfectly fine as well. I mean, as you can see, this is not exactly a, you don't exactly need a 2080 to play this thing. So basically the idea is, I mean, it's neat. It has a story. It's, hey, yo, you remember the Matrix where, you know, we created robots, then we fought the robots and the world done got blown up? That's basically what the story of this is. There's a tiny bit of humanity left. We're going to blow up the robots. That's pretty much what it is. But it's not only got the great 16-bit music, wait till you hear some of these sound effects. So you have two characters to start with, which is this sort of badass lady and an enemy who basically defected to your side, so a robot. And there are other characters that you can unlock, I assume by finishing the game, because I haven't unlocked one yet. But these guys, they knew exactly what they were making. It is, got that nice distorted 16-bit voice. Ah. Yeah. As I said, these guys knew exactly what they were making. Oh my, yes. So I have made a decent amount of progress in this, in the easy mode. And the easy mode, it's not easy. No. It's just less, like, nut stomping. But yeah, so there is a speedrun mode that you can turn on that adds a timer and stuff. I always like that. Also, you gotta have your scan lines if you want them. I never really use these myself. That's a super sharpening filter, which that just looks weird to me. Everything looks, ugh. Yeah. But I never use these, but I think it's cool that they add them. That you can play with these. So there is high score online rankings as well, and as you can see, savants have already have already maxed the leaderboards, as people tend to do. Also, someone's already maxed out the score in friggin' hardcore mode, which is like, good God, what is wrong with you people? So I'm gonna say I'm actually not gonna continue where I left off. We'll actually start this over again. So you see there's easy, normal, and hardcore, which I can't even play yet. The games it is more difficult on the, you have more difficult enemies, but in addition to that, you have, if you play on easy, you not only get more lives, you also have what are called support capsules, which are basically when you die, the game will drop high-end weapons for you to make your life a little easier, but there's no leaderboards. So that's the trade-off. So I tried both the characters, but you can see there's multiple other, so there's 2 other characters that I haven't unlocked yet. I just like Doyle because he's a friggin' badass robot. So there's a little tutorial. You can go prone, jump, shoot. You can plant yourself in place to tilt your gun, which is very necessary during some of the boss battles. You can melee guys, which is something I think is really cool. And you can roll, though that I find is hard to pull off sometimes. And you can pick up multiple weapons, so kind of like Super Contra, you can pick up multiple weapons that you can switch between. Oh yeah, there's vehicles. This is a little Contra, a little Metal Slug. It's a little bit of both. So the cool thing about this is, so there's, I believe, 7 or 8 missions in total, but what's cool about this is you can actually do the first set of missions here in any order you want. So you can actually start on the harder levels if you want. I don't think there's any benefit to doing it that way, but you can choose your order, which is something I think is pretty neat. So I've actually gotten my way to level 5, which is progress I've now lost because I restarted this, but that's okay. Oh, wow, I already... Ha! I just unlocked the 2nd level achievement for brawlers. The first one was for meleeing 50 guys, so that's pretty hilarious. But yeah, just like Contra, even on the easy mode, it's one-hit death. So you get hit once, you done. So believe me when I tell you that easy is still not easy. Now, there are little bot power-ups you can pick up, kind of like this one that I have now, that does give you an extra hit. There are also bots that will make you move faster and do higher attack damage as well. And I picked up, so this is the regular gun, but I've also picked up this, like, grenade gun that I can switch between on the fly like that. And so now I've also picked up this one, which is kind of necessary for this section. This is kind of I call it the Electro Wang. There we go, we've got this. So interestingly enough, this does have so this obviously has achievements on the Xbox version. It says the PC version has achievements as well, but usually when you have a version of a game like this that's on both Xbox and PC, the achievements like cross-pollinate. So basically, if you unlock it in one, you unlock it in the other place. When I started this on PC, I didn't have any achievements unlocked, but TrueAchievements.com also doesn't say that the PC SKU has its own separate achievements. Hey, get back here, you little bastard. So I don't quite know what the deal is with that. Maybe once it doesn't realize it until I've started a game or something. But in theory, if you played this in both places on Game Pass, you might be able to get double the achievements if you're into that sort of thing. So yeah, the graphics in this sim are 100% like Super Nintendo. Like that is this is much more like less like the original Contra and more like Super C or something like that. Never figured out how to get that one up. I don't know how you jump up there. So there's mini bosses as well. This is not the end of the level. The levels in this, by the way, are very long compared to what you would traditionally expect out of a game like this. You know, levels in games like Contra are usually not super long. They're much longer in this one. Oh, listen to this. Hey, bro. This Contra was broy as hell, so this is as well. So you've got this. Yeah, also you can there's an achievement for jumping out of the robot and grabbing onto the bottom of the helicopter. You can actually sit and ride the helicopter instead, and there's an achievement for that. I know what you mean, where yeah, the older or Terminator 2, the arcade game, which was actually, that was more of a light gun game, but that was also a ton of fun. And yeah, you get into this mode and you just have a friggin' crazy power fantasy. And then the boss shows up. So the game makes you think you're kicking ass, and then it's like, no, no, no. No, no, no. You still got things to murder. So we got this guy here. So as usual, the bosses are all very different, have very different kinds of attacks. You need to learn them, and really, now you decide, oh, well, that usually means I have an hour or so left. So, so they have all these various different attacks that you have to learn, and, you know, obviously learn to dodge, you know, a lot of pattern memorization, which is really how most of these games work. Damn it! There's an achievement for actually taking this guy out without losing the mech. I almost had it. Now you also think, oh good, we're done the level now. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, son. That was just his first form. Now again, we are on easy, so I can tell you right now, I'm making this look simple. One, I've beaten this level about 7 or 8 times now. Also, on normal, it's way tougher. Like, this guy has a lot fewer hit points, and I believe he attacks less on easy as well. Or maybe he does, you know, maybe that's just what he needed. Maybe if he was just hugged more as a kid, you know, he wouldn't be so evil. If his robo-mama just gave him some more, you know, robo-affection. I appreciate them not going with the cliche, though, of him doing this as he faded down. So the scoring system's pretty interesting in this, too. You get a base score. You get bonus for how many lives you have left, and then your score actually drops based on how long you took to beat the level, which I think is a really interesting mechanic. So you don't have to rush, but you'll score higher if you do, which I thought was a really neat way. I've never seen another game that quite does that. So the levels are all quite a bit different. This is a vehicle level that takes place on like a train thing. I'll show you this one. This technically takes place after the train, but I'll show you that one as well. So the levels vary quite a bit in terms of what you, in terms of the environments, the types of enemies that you're going to face, you know, the type of movement dynamics and movement situations that you're going to be facing. Also, F those stupid sandworms. Oh my god, I hate those things. Whoops. Oh yeah, F these sandworms even more. Not a fan of these. So once again, while I may be making this look easy right now, I assure you guys, I had to do a lot of runs of this when I first started playing it. This game is a dick, especially on the higher difficulties. I imagine it's probably a little easier if you're playing it in co-op, only because the enemy, you know, health and whatnot doesn't change, but of course you have 2 people on screen. Oh, this laser is one of my favorite weapons. So you can do this, or you can do this. I love that. Oh, did you, Tech? Yeah, it is on, I don't know if you have Game Pass, but it is on that as well, on both PC and Xbox. But I would love to try this. I should fire that Parsec V up again, Tech, because I would love to co-op this. I have to see if the PC version actually does carry your, not just your achievement progress, but your actual game progress or not. When I ran it, it didn't look like it did, even though it did ask me to sign into Xbox Live, so one would think it would have cloud sync, but I'm not sure if it does. Usually if it asks you to sign in, it means it's going to sync everything, but it's not always 100% either. I swear to God, I was not doing this well when I played this the other night. I will say one thing, though. I think they patched the Xbox version, because the Xbox version on launch day actually had some pretty bad not lag problems, but stutter problems. It almost looked like it had, you know how old NES or Super Nintendo games had, they call it slowdown in the speedrunning community, where, you know, basically if you got to certain points in the game where you overtaxed the CPU, it would run slow. It was running like that, and I was like, is this normal? Like, is this the way it's... Did they design it this way, or is it a bug? And I'm pretty sure it was a bug, because it's not doing it anymore. And I think that's part of the reason I wasn't playing so well, because it was causing weird, like, delays and skips with the controller inputs. Oh, man. Beating this guy inside of a minute on easy is not difficult, by the way. Except when you lose all your weapons. Because that's the other thing as well. So the way this works is when you die, you only lose the weapon you currently have. And I don't remember if Contra worked like this. When you die, you only lose the weapon you currently have equipped, not any other weapon. So if you have 3 weapons in your inventory, when you die, you only lose 1. Gotcha. Yeah, Tech, we should talk about firing up that Parsec VM again, because I would totally be down to co-op this piece if we could get it running reliably. But yeah, the weird like slowdown, judder, and input issues I was having the other night seem to have vanished. So I wonder if the game was either updated, or my Xbox did restart the other night because of a power outage. So maybe my Xbox just needed to, you know, maybe I just needed to try turning it off and on again. So yeah, this is the attack bot, which is one of my favorite bots, because it's literally, well, never mind. It's literally like a Contra option. It just flies around and shoots at the enemies with you. Ah, here we go. Yeah, games like this, I mean, you gotta... I do know that games like this will probably appeal more to people for nostalgic reasons. Because, like... I mean, the entire reason the Arcade Crew was founded, and they told me this at PAX South, the entire reason the Arcade Crew was founded was to make modern games with retro feel, you know, with a retro feel to them, to appeal to old school gamers who wanted, like, new things of that. Which, again, I am so bloody happy that we now live in a world where someone can make an actual successful business model out of that. I think that's incredible. But if you didn't grow up with Contra or these types of old school, like, brutally hard platformers, this is designed for those people. Like, this is designed for the people who, like me, who love that stuff. But, oh yeah, this boss is horrific. Oh, there is. There definitely is. I mean, there's lots of people, you know, young people and whatnot who likes things like this, absolutely. But that's really, I think, what their core appeal was with this, that they were going for. But if they can make this appeal to more young people and stuff too, hey, that'd be amazing. So we can either continue there, but we're at the end of this level, so I'm gonna show you guys another one here. I'll show you guys the train level, or not the train level. The train level, even though it doesn't have the highest difficulty rating, was probably one of the hardest ones for me. That level was a bastard. Actually, you know what? No, I'll do it on easy actually, because if I show it to you, that one to you on normal, I cannot get anywhere on normal. So we'll switch to Mavra now. I'll show you this character. So yeah, the supply train. Here we go. It's got like that crazy lens flare effect on the sun. Like it's just, oh, this just screams like 90s Neo Geo or Konami arcade stuff. Like, oh, I adore it. They knew, like they nailed it, the aesthetics so well. Oh yeah, these dicks who drop bombs when you blow them out of the air. Also those things. Which doesn't to me seem like a particularly efficient mode of transportation, but... or very comfortable. But I also love the fact that they didn't forget the scoring system either. Like, they understand that games like this, bragging rights, like scoring and leaderboards and bragging rights are important. Which I'm glad they didn't take that out. A lot of people who make modern retro games like this just think that nobody cares about scoring systems anymore, and my god, could they not be more wrong. So yeah, this thing is a pain because it shoots these little bomb things out of its eye, plus lasers, plus there's a guy who respawns infinitely. But the neat thing is you can take this out in multiple different ways. You can take out the eye thing first if you want, or you can just shoot at the wing and take the whole thing out in one go if you want. So on easy, it's better to just take that enemy straight out, but on the harder difficulties, it's sometimes better to take out the guns first. Ah, you buggers. And keep in mind, we haven't even gotten to the train yet. Which is like the point of this level. Oh yeah, we got this thing. You gotta time your jump over the friggin' the train job, yes. Are you familiar with the works of Shan Yu? Eep. Yeah, get hosed. This is running much better than on launch night, I have to say. Here we go. What's up, brah? And then I just throw my bike into a robot and he explodes. Because, screw you. I'm a certified badass. So yeah, there's achievements in this game for not just beating the levels, but there's certain goofy things you can do in each level that you get achievements for. There's also different level achievements for like number of hours played, and also things like number of enemies meleeed. So you saw I unlocked the second level melee one. I think that's for 100 enemies meleeed, and the third one is like 500. Which technically you could just farm by staying on the first level if you wanted. Because the one thing they did get rid of from the old Contra games that I'm glad to see gone is time limits. Though I will say, I have never liked the concept of having to do the whole thing where you can only shoot down if you jump in the air. That's never been my favorite. That's never been my favorite thing to have to do. Because I'm bad at timing it right, as you can see. Heyo. But yeah, honestly, these guys, so the Arcade Crew published this, but this was actually developed by another studio. I don't know where they're from, but they're called Joy Masher. And these guys, like, absolutely nailed this. Like, this game, if you told me this was on the Genesis, I'd probably say more the Genesis, because the soundtrack, it could be on the Super Nintendo, but it has that Yamaha twang that the Genesis FM synth chip had. But if you'd have told me, if you'd have put this in front of me and said that this was a new, like, fan-developed game for the Genesis or the Super Nintendo, I would have totally believed you. Oh yeah, this guy. This guy's kind of a dick. I mean, they're all kind of dicks. That's kind of the point, but... And then he recycles. Well, at this resolution, Sim, no, but these sprites look... I'm not an expert to tell from, you know, just a gander, but I could see the Genesis being capable of this. The Neo Geo absolutely could have done it. Oh, bugger, I dropped too early. Alright, well, what I'm going to do, I will show you guys the one other open level here, and then even though we're only 26 minutes in, I think I've already showed you guys pretty clearly what this game is like, and yeah, I love it. Yeah, I have a soft spot in my heart for the Neo Geo 2, Namgib. When I was a big retro collector about 10 years ago, I had a pretty decent Neo Geo collection going, actually. At one point, of AES stuff. Yeah, the Neo Geo could have done this in its sleep. I could see the Genesis or the Super Nintendo doing this by a particularly skilled team. Back when Konami, like, actually made video games, in the 16-bit era, Konami had some incredibly technically talented teams that could have pulled this off. But this could easily have been something that Nazca or Mega Enterprise could have done, the guys who did the Metal Slug stuff. This grenade gun is probably my favorite because it hits hard and it's got a pretty big AoE. Could potentially have seen this with this soundtrack on, like, the Sega CD or something, or possibly even on something like the Amiga, actually. Like an Amiga 1200 could have done something like this. Oh, you bugger. This level took me a good while to get through. The first time, even on easy. I'm gonna try to beat this game on easy, and then I will definitely try to beat it on normal, but, oh, right, that's the part where you gotta run. That's why it gives you a speed bot. Oh, this dick. I hate this guy. Basically because of that. But you can slice him. But also he can do that. There we go. This is funny. So you see him just sort of... So you see him standing there broken. I already got this, but there's an achievement for doing that. Just called Finish Him! Which I thought was pretty cute. Whoops, right, you gotta run down this piece. I forgot about that. Yep, exactly. He's gonna make, we're gonna make some brake rotors out of him. That's where all the cheap, that's how all the cheap rotors are made now. Oh, this thing, right. Not a fan of this guy neither. Eep, nope. Well, balls. So the game does have checkpoints. So if you do continue, you won't. This will not pull a Contra on you, where if you continue, it's going to make you start right over again. Though I believe hardcore mode has. I haven't beaten the game yet, so I haven't unlocked it. But I believe hardcore mode is no continues at all. So there are already people on the leaderboard with maxed out scores who've beaten this in hardcore, which, you know, there are people that good out there. Probably just, you know, probably speedrunning type people. I would not be surprised if we see a run of this at a future Games Done Quick. Eep. Eep. No, overdid it. All right, got him that time. I like the little reflection in the glass, too. I think that's kind of cool. Well, they were. Or perhaps they will be again. Oh, I did not have this gun the first time this game made me do this section. Well, and now I don't have it again. So... Oh, yeah! This is the real boss. Yeah, deal with lots of gunfire and having to shoot at him while you have to climb your way up this place, because F you, video games. Because this is how the old men found their challenge in their video games. We didn't have no Dark Souls or no friggin' PUBG esports, y'all. No, we just had bosses that were complete and total unfair douchebags. This is how challenge worked. They'll beat you. Oh yeah, and then there's this, by the way. I completely forgot about this. I'm glad I got to show this to you. Yeah, there's a 3D level. Now, I will say one part about this. So this is their own take on the idea of those 3D stages from the Contra games that a lot of people probably remember, which did not really play like this. The one thing I will say about this is, as cool as it looks, I'm not the biggest fan of this level because you have to do things like these door dodge things. They come up on you very quick, and the crosshair is so large, especially when you're shooting on the screen, it's often very hard to see what's coming and what you have to dodge because, well, one, guns like that shoot so fast, and you've got this massive ass crosshair in the middle of the screen that often makes it very hard to see what's coming, so you know what you need to avoid. I have had a number of kills in this level where I've been like, come on, how was I supposed to know that? Also these, and those, and that, because screw you, 16-bit era video games, y'all. This does look really cool, though. There's an achievement for collecting all the weapon upgrades in this. Problem is, you have to get through this section without dying if you do that. What's up, Dirty? Yeah, so this is only one part of this level. I don't know if there's another one of these 3D stages in the game. I don't think there is, actually. I think it's only this one part of this one level. Oh, SimCity 2000 SE? Oh man, there's a friggin' classic. I haven't played that in, my god, a long time. Doing all right, man. Had a busy day today, but a good one. I'm doing my indie showcase during the week instead of on Saturday. We're doing fewer games this time, but we're doing it during the week and trying it out. It's going to be a largely shooty night. I've got this game and 2 other arcade shmups to showcase, and then I'm going to do one more, and then if we have time, which I think we will, I'm going to do a different game that's definitely not a shmup. Oh yeah, this guy. This guy's a pain. Learning your shot timings with this guy is not fun. It telegraphs stuff pretty well for you, though, at least. I have days where I'm not busy sometimes. Just not very often lately. But it happens. But I've already, you know, as I've said before, I'd always rather be busy than bored. So... Oh, right, yeah, these saber attack things I had a hard time with. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, there we go, guys. So I've shown you a cross-section of several of the levels of Blazing Chrome. This game I adore. If you gotta like Contra, but if you do, this game is for you. If you like Contra, even if you like stuff like Metal Slug or even Gunstar Heroes to a certain degree, I would definitely recommend it. And hey, it is on Game Pass on both the Xbox One and the PC. So if you've got access to Game Pass, you really have no excuse to not give it a shot. But if you want to pick it up on PC, on Steam, it is there as well. You can also get it from Fanatical for a little bit less. If you do choose to do that, if you wouldn't mind using that affiliate link before you go to buy it, that helps out my dev relations efforts with the sheds because I'm able to track those sales. So I would appreciate that. Plus, you can save a few bucks if you get it through them as well. But I adore this. It's the first release from published by the Arcade Crew. Its developer is Joy Masher. I really hope this does well enough that the Arcade Crew gets to do a lot more stuff, because this is what they said their label is based around, is putting out stuff like this, and I want a lot more of it. So yes, indeed. But that is the first of several different shooty games that we got going on this edition of Indie Showcase. So we're going to switch over to another one shortly. But thank you guys for watching. If you are watching this video on YouTube after the fact, definitely please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and let me know what you thought about this in the comments, or if you know other modern retro titles like this that have come out that you would recommend as well, because I'm always up for hearing more of these, because this has become some of my favorite games to play these days, and not just for nostalgia reasons, though mostly, you know. But stick around, guys. We got 2, possibly 3 more games on the docket tonight, so don't go anywhere. Indie Showcase Saturday, it's not Saturday. Indie Showcase Tuesday, powered by the Shed, continues. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.